how to take your aftermarket stereo out of your dash kit. Doesn't matter the brand, as long as it's a single DIN type of slide out type of radio such as this one. I'm just using this dual receiver, and I have just a generic dash kit from our stock in the back. So I just want to show you exactly first how this thing works, so that way when you're in front trying to figure out how to take it out, you understand the logic of how it actually went in, which I think is more important than the back end. So on every stereo receiver, there's the actual chassis of the radio, okay? Typically the detachable face and the trim panel. Now when you want to have to do this job, you're going to have to remove the trim panel, and all these things that are held in by is just pressure. You hear that click? That's all that's holding that in. So you can just grab that, pull it. You might have several little clicks, and that's going to remove that panel. Then you're going to see the sleeve behind, which is holding the front third or so of the receiver into the sub dash. Now these little locks on the side, there's going to be one on the left side, second one on the right. The way it works is they all have their own separate types of keys. Alright, just to illustrate how many keys there are, let me show you. This here is actually the set that I've had, and I've collected these over the last 20 years, I don't even know how many years. You can see all the different styles and brands. I, of course, know what each one is, but when you're doing your own stereo, your stereo comes with the keys. So when you get these keys, and there's always going to be two that are included with it, don't throw them out. It's very important to keep those. But the way that they're designed to work is this way. You're supposed to go in through the side once this trim ring is removed, take the key, and watch what happens. When you push it in, it releases this. See, right now it's locked in there. Put the key in, click. It puts just enough space so that way this is not keeping the chassis of the stereo in the cage any longer. Do the same thing on the other side. Once you insert the keys, it will allow the sleeve to disconnect from the chassis, because all it is this little cutout, that notch is clicking into the sleeve. So that's what's going on here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mount this sleeve into this dash kit, which is just going to basically mimic your car stereo installation. Then we're just going to undo it. So there's the kit. There's your sleeve. Slide that right in there. I'm just going to bend a couple of these tabs down, just so it doesn't fall out when I pull on it. Okay. So with that's in there, I'm going to take their stereo. Boom, slide that in there. You heard the click, so you know that sucker's in there, right? Trim ring. This is pretty much what everybody's stereo looks like in their dash kit. Just going to pull this plastic trim off. Get it started. So like I showed you before, there's the exposed cage. Take your keys, click, and clack, and then you can just grab it and pull it straight out. Of course, in a real installation, you have the wire harness here, which you would just simply reach in there, bend it down, unplug it, and there you go. So you can service it, replace it, fix it, whatever you're doing with it, you could do with it. And that's pretty much how it all works. So when you have to take a stereo out of your dashboard, that's as simple as it is. Pull up the trim ring, expose the sleeve, insert the keys, pull out the unit, and that's it. If you can't find these keys, you could always use a piece of plumber strap or a piece of Simpson steel at the Home Depot or Ace Hardware. They sell stuff like this. It's all it is. And they may vary from brand to brand, as you can clearly see. There's lots of different styles and sizes and all this stuff, widths and everything else. But you can tell, because when you look at the sleeve, you can see the width right there. You know it's not going to be wider than that, because otherwise it wouldn't protrude and penetrate into the side. So once you get in there, you only have to go back usually about 2.5 to 3 inches or so, just enough to get in there and separate the sleeve from the unit and pull it right out. So there you go. That's how it's done.